Hi kiddos, welcome back. So this week, I chose bees for our nonfiction book. Okay, so it's by Laura Marsh. Bees. Bumblebees are very cute for me personally, but anything else but bumblebees kind of scares me. I run off. All right, here we go. Bzzz, outside the sun is shining, the flowers are blooming, and the bees are buzzing. When some people see bees, they run. I do. Others might not notice the bees, but let's stop and take a closer look. Bees are helpful. Our world needs bees. Helpful bees. Bees help both people and plants. Honeybees make honey and beeswax. People use these things in lots of ways. Okay, see? You can see that beeswax is used to make candles and cleaning supplies. And honey is sweet and delicious. Okay, all kinds of bees help plants make seeds. Seeds can grow into new plants. Some of those plants give us fruits and vegetables. We can thank bees for strawberries, apples, almonds, tomatoes, and many other food. Pollen power. When a bee lands on a flower, the flower's pollen rubs off on the bee. Pollen sticks to tiny hairs on the bee's body. Okay, so here, let me show you the picture. Okay. When the bee travels to another flower, pollen from the bee brushes off onto the new flower. This is called pollination. Now the new flower can start to make seeds. A bee's leg has special hairs that form a basket. The bee brushes pollen into the basket. Then it flies back to the nest. This pollen is used as food for baby bees. These pollen baskets are filled with pollen. Only female bees have them. You hear that? Only female. That's a fact. Empty pollen basket. Okay, so here, take a very close look to the pollen. So these are pollen baskets. And this is when it's empty. Bees collect nectar from flowers too. They drink nectar with their tongues. Some bees make honey out of nectar. These bees are called honeybees. So the buzzword, nectar, a sweet, sugary juice that flowers make. Ooh, look, this is the tongue. It says tongue on a bumblebee. 7 cool facts about bees. Number 1, the garden bumblebees has a tongue that is as long as its body. Okay, I'm going to show you the first picture. It's right here. See that? Okay. It is long. Ooh, it looks like a needle. Humans collected honey from bees as early as 6,000 BC. That's a long time ago. Bees have 4 wings, 2 large wings and 2 small wings. You see that? And then bees can see colors. Wow. Okay. They are most likely to land on flowers that are blue, purple, or yellow. Okay, number 5. Farmers often hire beekeepers to bring bees to their fields. The bees pollinate the farmers' crops. And number 6, honeybees do a dance called the waggle. Scientists think that the dance shows other bees in the hive where the best nectar is. Okay. And then last but not least, number 7, about 1/3 of the food on our planet grows because of bees pollination. So it's because of them doing their job, and that's why we have food. Okay. A bee or not a bee. It's easy to mistake other insects for bees. They often look alike. Okay, so we're going to do a comparison. Bee, here, I'll show you this picture here. It has hair all over its body that helps catch pollen, and then has pollen baskets if the bee is female, eats nectar and pollen from flowers. Okay, but there are ways to tell them apart. Take a closer look at a bee and a yellow jacket wasp, which is not a bee. Do you see what difference? Okay, so now let's look at the yellow jacket wasp. Okay, do you see that? All right. Okay, I'm going to read these little. Eats mostly meat, such as other insects. Does not have much hair, and does not have pollen basket. Okay. I'm going to compare that again. All right. A world of bees. Most bees are solitary bees. About 20,000 kinds of bees alive on Earth. All bees are either solitary bees or social bees. A solitary bee makes a nest for its young. The nest is inside a hole in the ground, in wood, in walls, or in plant stems. Solitary bees collect pollen, okay, but they do not make honey or beeswax. Okay. So right here it has a little box that says solitary bees, bees that live alone. Social bees, bees that live in a group. Social bees live with many other bees. A group of social bees is called a colony. A colony of bees live in a hive. Honeybees are one kind of social bees. As many as 50,000 honeybees may live in one hive. Bees care for their young there. They make and store honey in the hive too. Hive, what's a hive? Okay, so it's explaining. An open space with a tree, structure, or box where social bees live together. Wow, this is honeybee hive here. Home sweet home. Inside the hive, honeybees build with beeswax. The bees mold the wax into 6-sided shapes called cells. And then lots of cells together make a honeycomb. So honeycomb, a sheet of 6-sided cell made of beeswax. The bees put nectar from flowers into some of the cells. As the nectar gets thicker, it turns into honey. Bees eat the honey for food. Other cells in the hive hold bee eggs. There is one egg in each cell. The eggs hatch, the young bees grow and change. After 21 to 24 days, the young bees become adults. Okay, now this looks scary. Okay, so this picture says each cell has one egg. And this one says adult bees feed and care for the young. And then here, these young are almost ready to come out of the cell. Oh, so these are the stages, I guess. Okay, so this little line says, a bee starts as an egg and becomes an adult in about 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Busy as a bee. Every honeybee in the colony has a special job. These jobs keep the colony healthy and strong. There is only one queen bee. She is bigger than the other bees. She lays all of the eggs, up to 1,500 per day. Per day, not per week, per day. Worker bees surround the queen. She is the largest bee in the middle. Ooh, check that out. Wow, can you do the calculation? So if she lays 1,500 eggs per day, and then every 3 weeks you get an adult bee, Wow, that's a lot, but it's good. There are two other kinds of bees in the colony. Drone bees are male bees. Their job is to help the queen make eggs. Worker bees have many jobs. These females feed the queen and care for the young. They build the hive and make honey. On long flying trips, they collect pollen and nectar. They also guard the hive against enemies. Whew, that's a lot of work. This worker bee is collecting pollen. Look at that. Keeping bees. Beekeepers wear special clothes to protect them from stings. Let me get a closer look. There's like a netting on his face so that the bees doesn't get to him. Okay. Some humans build honeybee hives out of wooden boxes, and beekeepers take care of the hives and collect the honey. Beekeepers also check the bee colonies to make sure they are healthy. Beekeepers know how important bees are to our world. Be aware. Here are some tips for staying safe around bees. Okay. Number 1, move slowly. Don't wave your arms or jump around. If a bee thinks it's being attacked, it may sting. If a bee comes near you, stand still or walk slowly away. Okay. The third one, do not swat at a bee. Let it fly away on its own. Okay. Number 4, do not disturb any bee nest or honeybee hive. The bees will defend their home and may sting an attacker. Number 5, if you are stung by a bee, put ice on the sting. Number 6, if you leave bees alone, they will probably leave you alone. Good tips. I get nervous and I start swatting them, but let's not do that. All right. That is the end of the book. So I hope you like that. I will put some exercises on there because in the back of the book, which is really cool, there's like some quizzes. So I'll ask you that. I'll put that in the slide deck and then you'll be able to answer the questions. Okay. Well, I hope you like the books about the bees and then I'll see you next time. Bye, kiddos.